This channel's real, this channel's about documenting, this channel's about talking, having an open opinions. And let's get started. Say whoa, say whoa. Say whoa. Head of a horse, the body of a man. Unidentified flying object. Welcome back to another video.
A defecting Russian scientist has surfaced with a mind-bending account of what really occurred when he and his colleagues went missing for 5 days in a mysterious lake 12,366 feet beneath the Antarctic ice. Dr. Anton Padalka told authorities in Switzerland that the researchers discovered a bizarre and deadly life form dubbed Organism 46b, a highly intelligent octopus-like creature that claimed the lives of 3 of the team members. But the government of Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed that nothing of scientific interest was found because the former KGB strongman hopes to weaponize the organism. The discovery of such unusual life in Lake Vostok was the most important scientific breakthrough in decades, but we were ordered not to divulge it because of Mr. Putin's sinister scheme, the whistleblowing geologist told the Swiss. It was in early February 2012 that members of the Russian Antarctic expedition succeeded in the drilling through more than 2 miles of thick ice to Lake Vostok, a project that took more than 30 years. Because the freshwater lake has been sealed off from the rest of the world for between 15 and 34 million years, scientists had predicted they would find new species that had evolved far differently than any seen before. According to our research, the quantity of oxygen there exceeds that on other parts of our planet by 10 to 20 times. Any life forms that we find are likely to be unique on Earth, Sergei Bulat, the project's chief scientist, said on Russian TV as the geologists were drilling down. Previously, extremely weird creatures had been found in deep-sea vents off the coast of Antarctica, including hairy-chested yeti crabs that feed on gardens of bacteria they cultivate on their bodies and carnivorous, 7-armed sea stars that can catch and kill those crabs. Just as the 8-man team neared the lake, all communication with the outside world mysteriously ceased. As days crept by and the researchers failed to respond to increasing frantic efforts to reach them by radio, fellow scientists worldwide feared the worst. No word from the ice for 5 days. Dr. John Prisco, a professor of ecology at Montana State University and head of a similar Antarctic exploration program, grimly told Fox News at the time, "I can only imagine what it's like." Or maybe he couldn't. Dr. Padalka claims that during this time, he and his colleagues were fighting for their lives in the lost world deep beneath the Earth's surface. "We encountered Organism 46b on day 1 as we were conducting a preliminary dive in our low-temperature wetsuits," he recounts. "It disabled our radio, which we later learned to our alarm, was intentional. Although the creature has 14 arms instead of the usual 8, it kills in a similar manner to an ordinary octopus, seizing its prey, injecting it with paralyzing saliva, then dismembering it into small pieces with its beak. But Organism 46b has another trick up its sleeve. It is able to paralyze prey at a distance of up to 150 feet by releasing its venom into the water from an organ similar to its ink sac," explained Dr. Padalka. "Tragically, my colleague and lifelong friend Dr. Vinogradov was killed this way." He tread water wearing a blissful smile as the organism approached him. "We watched helplessly as it used its arms to tear off his head, then popped his remains its mouth. It was as if it had hypnotized him telepathically." The 33-foot-long man-eater also boasts extraordinary camouflage that helped it stalk the researchers. Many species of octopus can alter their appearance, usually to avoid larger predators, Dr. Padalka explained. Sacs of colorful pigments called chromatophores allow them to change colors, and by contracting their muscles they can blend in with the smooth ocean floor or a craggy coral reef. The well-known mimic octopus can contort its boneless body to take on the shape of a sea snake or stingray. But the shape-shifting abilities of organism 46b sound almost diabolical. It shaped itself into the form of a human diver.
Now, yeah, I hope you guys heard that. It shaped itself in the form of a diver, a human diver. There are things out there that we do not know about. Just because they look like animals do not mean that they really are. They could be ancient things that, can manifest or form themselves into it or just be that intelligent. This is based on a true story. I hope you guys really look into this. All right, back to it.
We thought it was one of my colleagues swimming toward us in scuba gear. By the time the closest scientist realized what it was, it had grabbed him and torn him to bits. If an arm of an ordinary octopus is cut off, the severed limb will crawl away, sometimes even seize prey and place it in the mouth of the octopus. Experts say that's because each arm contains a cluster of neurons, essentially its own brain. The arms of organism 46b demonstrated a chilling knack for operating autonomously. After our sole female researcher chopped off one of the arms with an axe, the severed limb yanked the weapon out of her hands, recalled the scientist. That night the arm slithered onto the icy bank where we were sleeping and strangled her.
Excuse me when I say this, but this sounds like some shit straight out of a fantasy, or like people would say a sci-fi movie. Sci-fi is facts. Our reality could be fiction. I'm just saying, let's go.
The experts believe that not only does the octopus regenerate its limbs, the brainy severed tentacle may be able to form a new octopus. Octopuses are extraordinarily intelligent, able to negotiate mazes, use tools, and even build structures with Legos. The newly discovered entity is in a class by itself. From the way it adapted each time we changed our tactics, we became convinced it is at least as intelligent as an average human, Dr. Padalka revealed. If we were not all PH.DS, I fear it would have in the end outwitted us.
See, this is why I read. And I look at things that people may think is funny or stupid or, they want to laugh at you about. Because you may find your arse somewhere and see some shit like that and may not be able to outsmart it. Because they said if we wasn't doctors, we probably basically would have died. Well, what if we're just walking along the beach or having a little swim in the ocean off the boat? Okay.
Miraculously, the eggheads were able to capture the creature in a tank.
And now they have it in a tank. If any of you guys are into like the SPCS, I think I'm saying that right, reads about, people, just normal people walking and being in normal places or camping and running into these extreme monsters that you would think would never, could never, why would they exist? I wonder how many of our alleged, our governments allegedly have monsters. Monster games, monster wars, allegedly.
After the 5 surviving scientists made their way to the surface, the program's director ordered that the borehole be immediately plugged.
Okay, we can look at this a lot of ways. Plug it, keep people safe, but you got a monster out of there, or something unique. Plug it up, and stop a discovery of things that could really possibly help us or make us understand who we are, because you already know what's going on, allegedly. I'm just saying I'm tired of that Indiana Jones feeling where there's things out there and they have hidden them allegedly. And some of them are great and some of them are magical and some of them could probably bring the world together, dude. But yeah, let's get back to it.
The geologists expected to be honored internationally for their amazing find. To their great disappointment, however, the Russian government claimed that the team had found no life in Lake Vostok and denied that divers had even entered the water.
And honestly, in my opinion, this is the reason why I am just against a lot of things when I say loyalty or giving yourself for a country. It has nothing to do with a flag. I'm not political. I'm anti-political. So nobody go there with me. Okay. So I'm not even going to fuss with you about it. My thing is you give yourself, you find something great. It could change the world, change your life, change everything. And you're told it didn't exist and you're made out as a fool and people lost their lives for what? That's what I feel about war, allegedly.
There's nothing much down there, I can assure you, according to a statement by the chief of the Vostok Research Station, A.M. Yelagin. The director of the Russian Antarctic expedition, Valery Lukin, admitted that the plug had been put in place but called the precaution routine. US and British experts were puzzled by the announcement. It's a little bit of an anticlimax, geologist Dr. David L. McEnroe of the UK said on TV at the time. It's hard to believe we were so wrong about there being unusual life down there. Dr. Padalka claims he fled his native country in July after learning to his horror that the government is planning to put the discovery to military use.
Let's just have a brief moment of silence right now for all the people that don't want to believe in anything out of this norm. Here in a minute, and we're going to have a moment of silence for all the monsters and the mysterious things that we read in books that do exist. Parallels, portals, hell, Bigfoot, witches, warlocks. Let's just all have a moment of silence for Halloween. Because maybe we are dressing up as them. Moment of silence starts now. All right, let's get back to it.
Some species of octopus lay 200,000 eggs, he pointed out.
So, yeah, let's just start at the two, you know, count. So what if this species is a little bit more extreme and a little bit more better and their counts up in the 4 or 6 range or 10 range? So if we brought one of those down from the Arctic, which was in ice for a reason, maybe it was a plan by something universal or spiritual, who knows, believe, whatever your belief is. We brought it up and out of the ice to our above, to our ecosystem. The adaptation of it is amazing from what the Russian scientists say. And now we know it lays that many eggs. Moving along.
Imagine if they were deposited in reservoirs and lakes across North America. The Russian government calls the whistleblower's claims preposterous.
I'm just going to tell you guys now. I'm so glad that I never had that military mind. Like, I'm a military brat. A lot of my family's military. I love them. But I would probably be a whistleblower, and that's all I'm going to say. Goodbye.